See, already we did previous year questions from mains 19, 2020 and as well 2021 also. And now this is previous year mains from 2020 advanced paper 1. I have another question from paper 2 related to applications of derivatives. Okay. See, actually from differential calculus we may get 3 to 4 questions in advanced papers, but specifically here I am discussing what questions related to the applications of derivatives. That means questions related to maximum minimum, questions related to increasing decreasing, questions related to mean value theorems. All this comes under the questions of applications of derivatives in advanced. And now we just look at this problem. Okay. See, for a polynomial g of x with real coefficients, let mg denote the number of distinct real roots of g of x. Actually, the question is completely about a defined notation. See, mg is a notation, denotes what it denotes. It denotes the number of distinct real roots of g of x. So this part of problem is just nothing but explaining about mg. What is mg? Number of distinct real roots of g of x. That's it. So this part is just giving, just mentioning a notation. Okay, that's it. And now s is given. What is s? S is the set of polynomials of the format x square minus 1 whole square into a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube, such that this a0, a1, a2, a3 belongs to real numbers. See, you just look here, a0, a1, a2, a3. These four belongs to real numbers. See, for different real values, if you replace a0, a1, a2, a3 with those reals, you will get a polynomial s. See, since these numbers belongs to reals, we have many possibilities for these four numbers, and so this has many polynomials of this format x square minus 1 whole square into a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube. So s is this set of infinite number of polynomials of this format. Now, for a polynomial f belongs to s, since there exist infinite polynomials in that s, you just choose a polynomial s. And what is the minimum possible value of mf dash plus mf double dash? See, here we are using f dash and f double dash. See, we are all familiar with f dash and f double dash. F dash is the first derivative of f, whereas f double dash is the second derivative of f. Actually, in the problem itself, they mentioned that f dash and f double dash are the first and second derivatives of the polynomial f. But for space, I am not mentioning here, and we are familiar with that notation, right? Okay. So now, minimum possible value of mf dash plus mf double dash we need to find. What is mf dash? Already in the first line of the question itself, they introduced the notation mg. Mg is the number of distinct real roots of the polynomial g. And so mf dash means what? Mf dash means in the same way number of distinct real roots of f dash. Number of distinct real roots of f dash is mf dash. And in the same way mf double dash also, the same notation, number of distinct real roots of f double dash. Okay, if you have a polynomial f from this set S, then number of distinct real roots of f dash as well number of distinct real roots of f double dash we need to count, and we need to add those number of roots. And one more thing here, you need to concentrate on the word minimum. Minimum possible value of mf dash plus minimum possible value of mf dash double dash we need to find. See, mf dash is the number of distinct real roots of f dash, but our concentration is on identifying minimum number of distinct real roots of f dash as well minimum number of distinct real roots of f double dash. So this is the way of analyzing the problem. Okay, every problem needs analyzation, a plan and implementation of that plan. At the end we will conclude the question. Okay, especially advanced problems for sure needs analyzing the analyzation of the given question. If the given question is clear for us, then it is very easy to answer the questions from advanced exam. Okay, that's why first of all we need to pay more time and much attention on analyzing the question only. If you analyze the question, then it is very easy to answer. Okay, so now this is the part. What is the part? The first line is just the notation, second line is just giving the definition of S, and third line in the sense we need to select a polynomial from that S and we have to calculate minimum possible value of mf dash and mf double dash, and this mf dash and mf double dash are the number of distinct real roots. So now at the end my task is to find distinct real roots for f dash as well f double dash, not to find all the distinct real roots, just to find minimum number of distinct real roots. That's what I need to say. Okay, right, you just have a look now. See, f is a polynomial of S. You just choose a polynomial from S. Take f is equals to x square minus 1 whole square into a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube. This is what f. Okay, I need to think about f dash as well as I need to think about f double dash also. For that what I do? For that I will write f dash. F dash is equals to, what is f dash? See, first polynomial into the derivative of second, x square minus 1 whole square into derivative of this part is simply a1 plus 2a2x plus 3a3x cube plus this polynomial. See, for convenience sake I will write it as p of x. For convenience sake I will take this polynomial as some p of x. Instead of writing every time that p, just I will use the p of x. So first function into the derivative of second plus second function p of x into the derivative of first function, which is 2 into x square minus 1 into 2x. Now this is what f dash. Now what I have to do? Right. See, to solve this problem I am going to use mean value theorem, especially Rolle's mean value theorem. One thing is very clear, for the given polynomial f, see, from this x square minus 1, if you replace x with 1, f of 1 is 0. If you replace x with minus 1, f of minus 1 is also 0. Here clearly f of 1 is equals to 0 is equals to f of minus 1. See, f of 1 is equals to 0 is equals to f of minus 1, and f is a polynomial, and specifically a continuous, polynomials are continuous. So f is continuous and differentiable. F of 1 is equals to 0 is equals to f of minus 1. Then by Rolle's theorem, as we discussed in our regular class about Rolle's theorem, then by Rolle's theorem, okay, there exists some alpha belongs to minus 1 to 1 such that f dash of alpha is equals to 0. For sure, in between this minus 1 and 1, we have one root. Okay, when you try to sketch the graph for f of x, see, somewhere we have minus 1 and somewhere we have 1. At minus 1, f of minus 1 is 0. At 1, f of 1 is 0. If you wish to sketch the graph passing through these 2 points, for sure the graph has a peak in between these 2 points. That peak represents one root for its derivative. For suppose if this is the shape of the graph, then there exists at least one alpha. There may exist more also, but our concentration is on minimum values, so enough of collecting 1. Maybe 2 or more also, as we discussed at Rolle's theorem. If the graph has 2 or more turnings or peaks in between these points, there may be more than 1 alpha, but I need just 1 enough. Okay, there exists at least 1 alpha belongs to minus 1 to 1 such that f dash of alpha is equals to 0. Also what we know, see, also when you observe here, also f dash of 1 is equals to 0 is equals to f dash of minus 1. See, this is f dash, right? You just think about this f dash. Since it is f dash, when you replace x with 1, this is 0, this is 0, so everything is 0. When you replace x with minus 1, this is 0, this is 0, so everything is 0. So f dash of 1 is equals to 0, f dash of minus 1 is equals to 0. That means clearly 1 and minus 1 are roots of f dash. Clearly 1 and minus 1 are roots of f dash. Along with these two roots, I have one more root, and that is alpha. There exist many more roots also, but since we are searching for minimum, you just consider at least one root, and that is alpha. So finally, from this discussion, 1 and minus 1 are roots. From this discussion, alpha is a root. Therefore, what I conclude is minus 1 comma alpha comma 1 are roots of f dash. So there may be more roots also instead of this alpha, okay? But since we are searching for minimum, enough to consider at least one alpha. That in turn represents that number of distinct real roots of f dash is equals to 3, because it has only 3 roots. Is it clear? Okay, and now again we need to think about f double dash. So when you write f double dash from this f dash, see, you need to apply product rule for these three, apply product rule for these two. It's bit complicated. So, and that f double dash has no roots, and we are searching for minimum number of distinct real roots as per our discussion. See, minus 1, alpha and 1 are roots of f dash. Now you just try to think about the graph of f dash. See here, alpha is in between minus 1 and 1. On the number line, somewhere here we have 1. See, somewhere in between minus 1 and 1 alpha is there, and somewhere we have 1. See, minus 1, alpha, 1 are the roots of f dash. If you try to sketch the graph of f dash, the graph for sure passes through these 3 points. And by passing through these 3 points, f dash will generate 2 peaks or 2 turnings for its graph. See, for example, I am just sketching, okay, it may be any one possible shape for f dash. If this is the possible shape, it generates 2 peaks. That represents that there are 2 roots for the derivative of this graph. This graph is for f dash, its derivative is f double dash. That f double dash has 2 roots because f dash has 2 peaks. Since we are searching for minimum it has 2 roots, maybe more than 2 also possible. Okay, from the given information it is very clear that we have 2 distinct real roots for f double dash. Mf double dash, in the sense distinct real roots, is mf double dash, so that is true. Our question, see, we need to mention the minimum possible value of mf dash plus mf double dash, for it is 3 distinct real roots minimum, and here the minimum number of distinct real roots is 2. At the end, our answer for the problem is 5. Okay, it's an integer type question asked in advanced 2020 in paper 1 from applications of derivatives. Very simple, based on Rolle's theorem. We need to analyze the problem. We need to search for the way of solving the problem with the concepts of applications of derivatives, because it involves with f dash and f double dash. Okay, have a look, that's the problem. And again I have another problem which is asked in paper 2, again related to the applications of derivatives. Okay, first of all, you just go through this. Okay, look at the board. Now the next question from 2020 advanced paper 2 related to the applications of derivatives, and it is given that f is a function from 0 pi to r. Okay, and f of theta is given as sin theta plus cos theta whole square plus sin theta minus cos theta to the power 4. That represents that this theta input is from 0 to pi, and the result range is all real numbers. So for this function, which is in terms of theta, input of the function is from 0 to pi. Okay, suppose function f has a local minima at theta. We need to find out the values of theta at which the given function has local minima. And see, this is the set of possible thetas. Set of possible values of theta at which the function has local minima, and we need to arrange all these numbers in such an order. See, lambda 1, lambda 2, all this belongs to 0 to 1 only. Why? Because see, theta is in between 0 to pi. If you multiply everything, lambda 1 pi, lambda 2 pi, lambda r pi are in between 0 into pi and 1 into pi. That means all these values, if you multiply with pi, lies in between 0 to pi. So further this restriction is given. Okay. After that, we need to add all these lambdas. We don't know how many values are possible in this set. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 10, we don't know, right? So our target is first of all to analyze the function and to find out the values of theta at which the function has local minimum. First of all, you just start with the function, try to simplify it, then go for first derivative and then make it equals to 0 to get the extrema, maximum minimum points. So from after that we will continue. So what is the given function? See, there is a chance to simplify this. F of theta is equals to sin theta plus cos theta whole square plus sin theta minus cos theta to the power 4. And we know, see, I think you all very familiar with this sin theta plus cos theta whole square. See, a plus b whole square, a square plus b square plus 2ab, sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1, 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So this sin theta plus cos theta whole square value is 1 plus sin 2 theta. Is it clear? Right. So the next thing is what? Sin theta minus cos theta power 4. You just split it, square and then again, one more square. See, sin theta minus cos theta whole square and then whole square. This sin theta minus cos theta whole square is nothing but 1 minus sin 2 theta as we discussed here. Okay, a minus b whole square, 1 minus sin 2 theta and with this square. Again go for the simplification. This is equals to 1 plus sin 2 theta plus 1 plus sin square 2 theta minus 2 sin 2 theta. And at the end what we have? We have sin square 2 theta. Sin 2 theta minus 2 sin 2 theta is sin 2 theta plus 2. This is what? F of theta. This is f of theta actually. Okay? And we need to find out theta at which this function has local minima. For that we just go with second derivative, first derivative. Okay? F dash of theta. What is f dash of theta? Since it is sin square 2 theta, its derivative is 2 sin 2 theta into, for square I wrote, for sin cos 2 theta into, for 2 theta it is 2. 2 sin 2 theta into cos 2 theta into 2 minus, for sin 2 theta cos 2 theta into 2 and for constant it is 0. That is f dash of theta. And for maximum minimum points we need to equalize it to 0. Okay? Since f dash of theta is equals to 0, that implies you just equalize it to 0. Pick out 2 cos 2 theta is a common thing. So 2 cos 2 theta into, we have 2 sin 2 theta minus 1 and that is equals to 0. So if this product is 0, then that implies we have two possibilities. Either cos 2 theta is equals to 0 or sin 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2. Okay, either cos 2 theta is equals to 0 or sin 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2. So from there we need to decide the values of theta. If cos 2 theta is equals to 0, what is sin 2 theta? Actually sin square 2 theta, sin square of something plus cos square of something is always 1. Since cos 2 theta is equals to 0, from there we will find out sin 2 theta is equals to 1, right? So I have two possibilities, sin 2 theta is equals to 1 as well sin 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2. If you replace here, one generates minima, one generates maxima, we need to fix minima, okay? Because the question is about finding local minima. If sin 2 theta is equals to 1, just go with a Warren check. If sin 2 theta is equals to 1, 1 minus 1 plus 2, the value is 2, okay? If sin 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2, 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2 plus 2. 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2 means minus 1 by 4. This is 2 minus 1 by 4. That means this sin 2 theta is equals to 1 will generate maxima. This sin 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2 will generate minima. So finally sin 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2 and at this point we have local minima for the given function. So what to say about 2 theta? Since theta is in between 0 to pi, you just keep in mind. Okay, but here we have equation, trigonometric equation in terms of 2 theta. Okay, 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2 means sin value is positive in first and second quadrants. Sin 30 degrees is 1 by 2. So sin pi by 6 is 1 by 2. and then 180 minus 30. 180 minus 30 means 150. So I think so 5 pi by 6 is also what? 1 by 2. Okay, and then what you say about theta? Then theta is simply nothing but pi by 12 and 5 pi by 12. So we have only two possible values for theta in the range of 0 to pi. So just these two values belongs to this interval. So lambda 1 is 1 by 12, lambda 2 is 5 by 12. Okay, so finally this is very, yeah, this part of the question is somewhat bit logical. Okay, so there exist only two lambdas, not so many. Okay, so lambda 1 value is 1 by 12, whereas lambda 2 value is 5 by 12. We need to find out the sum of all possible lambdas. So we need to add these two, which is 6 by 12, that is equals to 1 by 2. So our answer at the end is 0.5. There ends the problem. Okay, have a look. First of all, you just simplify the function and then write f dash of theta. Then for maxima minima, you just check this f dash of theta is equals to 0. This is corresponding to maxima, this is corresponding to minima. We have only two thetas. Then when you compare those thetas with this lambdas of the given set of theta, we have lambda 1 as 1 by 2, lambda 2 as 5 by 12. We have only two lambdas, sum of lambdas is 1 by 2. Our answer at the end is 0.5. That's another problem asked in advanced 2020 paper 2 related to applications of derivatives. Okay, there is the problem. Have a look.